Hey everyone, and welcome to the studio recap session for the song That's Quite Terse. This is another song that these guys have recorded, so we're going to go through the session today for the guitar and the bass. So let me walk you through this. This song, it's got a slow lumbering beat. Like this. This is our backing track. Kind of reminds me of that Metallica song Devil Dance, actually, like Load or Reload. Kind of slow and lumbering. So I think that's what they mean by that's quite terse. I did the song map here. So we've got this beat on hats, and then we've got it on a ride. So what we did is we brought the guitarist in, and the guitarist laid down some guitar. Let me show you what that sounds like. Here's the guitar right here. So pretty sparse. Sort of the equivalent of the drums. And this is what I mean by a sparse riff. This is not actually the main riff in the song. This is like a, I don't know if you want to call it a secondary riff. This is the main riff right here. Okay? So that's what we've got there. Now let me take you through this guitar recording. As I mentioned on previous videos, here's the map for the guitar sound. Same guitar sound coming out of that thing, but it's going into a different speaker for each song. It's a form of experimentation. So here we have the song That's Quite Terse. And then if we look, the speaker that we're recording this through for this song is the Greenback 20. So this is not a standard Greenback. The big famous speaker called Greenback is actually the Celestion Greenback 25 watt. This is something different. This is a Celestion heritage speaker. So it's a modern speaker that's actually replicating an old speaker. And that old speaker it's trying to emulate or simulate is the Greenback 20 watt. This was an earlier version of the Greenback that came out in the early 60s. And what we're doing here is recording it with an SM57, a single SM57. Usually that doesn't give you the greatest sound, but in the edge position. Let me show you what the edge position actually looks like. Okay, so here we have like 8 different speakers, okay? And that one is the Greenback 20, and if I can zoom in here, you can see the SM57 right there, and it's in the edge position. So I don't know if you can tell by this camera, but it's recording just the edge. It's centered on the join between the speaker cone, right, the speaker cone, and the speaker cone suspension, that thing right at the edge. So that's what it's doing right there. Hopefully you can see that okay. That's how we were recording the guitar sound for this song. Okay, so we have the guitar track, and we also have the bass player that came in and did his part. And so what he's playing in this song is pretty much mirroring the guitar for the most part. I will show you what that sounds like. This is the guitar and the bass together with the drums. That's the bass right here, track 15. And that's the guitar, track 11. And this is the main riff. Okay, so hopefully you get the point there. That's the main riff of the song. Now, here's a weird thing in the song map of this song. Now, I have to make these so that I can find my way through these songs. This is the basic map that I did for the drum track. So you've got that same beat. You've got it on the hi-hats for 8 bars. Then you've got it on the ride for 8 bars. Then you got it on the hats again, and then the ride again, all for 8 bars. And then you've got a similar, but not quite the same drum pattern that ends up riding on the toms. Okay, so that would presumably be like the middle 8th or something, okay? Then it goes back to the main beat on the hats again, but then you repeat the tom pattern here, And then there's a coda, like just a brief sort of ending that's different from every other part of the song. So if you look at this does not follow a standard song pattern. Usually you would have like some form of verse, chorus. Then you'd have some form of middle eighth, right? And then you'd have some form of chorus restated, right? That's usually the standard structure for a song. I mean, obviously you can vary that, but that's basically it. This does not follow that pattern. You've got a sort of middle eighth thing, but that repeats, and then you don't end with a chorus. So if you just follow the drum part, you get that weird sort of structure. Now, what I did was I mapped what the guitarist and bassist were playing. And once again, what's kind of strange with this band, or at least with this song, is that they're not following the drummer. When the drummer changes and does like certain things similar, they're kind of ignoring what the drummer's playing. They're doing their own thing. So you've got the main riff of the song. You've got this thing that I call a sparse riff. It's mainly just air. It's probably, I suspect, going to be like a vocal thing, I believe is what they've got planned. Then I'm calling this part a bridge. You can't really call it a middle eighth because it repeats. So I'm calling it a bridge. That's the part on the toms. And then you've got the part restated with the riff in the middle. And then that's it. But they're playing, you've got this weird coda part where it's not actually a beat anymore. It's like stabs. But they're playing the bridge over that. So it's a very strange structure. Now I'm going to just play this thing. I'll just let you guys hear what it sounds like. And then you can decide for yourselves how this is going to be structured. So here we go. So here's the main riff. On a ride cymbal. Okay, so riff continues, but we're on the hi-hats now. And if the bass is too loud. Okay, so a sparse riff again. Once again, there's only one guitar in all these songs. This is the tom part with the bridge. So we've done that tom part. Now we're back into a main riff. This part again. Then you restate the bridge, which is kind of weird. Some weird stabs. So there you go. So, yeah, I mean, this is just a weird structure to begin with. This complicates it even further. And I'm interested to see what they're going to do with vocals and backing vocals, because obviously that's what still has to go on these. So it'll be an interesting structure. This song stands out just because of this business. There you go. That was the recap of the session. Pretty standard. The guitarist just did the distorted guitar, and two more takes of it, but they're basically the same part. What's interesting is that I've actually had to put a bit of EQ on this. If you take the EQ off, you actually hear what the Celestion Greenback 20 sounds like when recorded in the edge position. That sounds like this. I'm going to try and solo this. The solo on this board doesn't work, so I'm going to try and do something else here. Here we go. So that's without any EQ whatsoever. See, it sounds a little bit like a telephone. Of course, it's because it's being recorded from an off-axis position. I had to put a bit of EQ on there. See, all the frequencies are there, even though some of the mid-range is really smeared because it's off-axis. But all your frequencies are there, just a matter of EQing them. Anyway, hopefully you guys found that interesting. Thanks for listening. You guys are awesome. I'll see you on the next video. Take care.